Good morning, everyone. I want to take you guys through what an account transcript look like. It doesn't, this part is different on an actual transcript, but you still have an idea of what you're looking at. So I want to get you guys acquainted with what the transaction codes look like and what they represent. So these are actual IRS transcripts. So these represents the actions that are being taken onto your account, that are taken on your account. So I want to kind of walk you through it so that way you'll know what it represents, what it means. So Ashley, she filed as single, and this was for tax year 2023. So when you see a TC 150, this indicates that you filed a tax return and it was processed. So this is your original tax return. It was processed. Typically, if you are wondering if your tax return was processed, if you can pull up an account transcript and it shows TC 150, that lets you know that it had been processed. All right, so her tax liability is zero. Now, if she owed, this would have a dollar amount. Okay, but according to her single filing status and the amount she had withheld from her W-4. So this 806 represents federal withholding withheld. So this is the amount that she had withheld. If you made estimated tax payments, you would see that a dollar amount there as well. Okay, so she had $3,200 worth of federal withholding withheld, and she received a refund of $1,200. So whenever you're looking for a refund, you want to look for this number 846. That tells you that a refund had been issued. Your refund had been approved. Okay, so when you're looking for a refund, 846 is always the number that you're looking for that shows approved. So Ashley amended her tax return for whatever reason. She forgot to add some deductions. So this TC 976 shows that an amended return was received. So that will be submitted on Form 1040X. All right, so this TC 97 shows that the amended return was processed and posted to the master file. So that was completed. No additional tax was assessed to her account. We actually decreased it, right? So 977 means amended return processed. TC 291 means that we decreased her tax, so we were giving her an additional $500 in a refund. All right, so that was processed. But then now examination said, hold on, wait a minute. Let's make sure that she actually qualified or she's entitled to take the additional deduction. So this TC42 means that examination now pulled this 1040X, right? And they're looking at it. So it's been selected for audit. And sometimes that happens when you are decreasing your tax liability by a certain amount is going to trigger an audit. Even though it was already processed, the examination department said, hold on, pump the brakes. All right. So then they decided, so that TC 300 means that they assessed additional tax after they examined the 1040X. So they increased her tax liability to $2,500. Okay, so that could be for many different reasons. So maybe the documents that she submitted wasn't sufficient enough. Now, the individual who initially reviewed her Form 1040X said, yeah, she sent in the documentation. Everything looks good. But then exam said, nope, we're going to need additional information. We need additional proof. All right. So a lot of times with the 1040X, you just submit your 1040X and whatever documents you have, and it seems acceptable. But then examination comes around and say, nope, we need more documentation. We need more proof. Okay. So exam said, nope, we're going to increase her tax by $2,500 more. So what happened was that refund, the initial refund that she received and the additional tax decrease that she received is now reversed. Okay, so it's reversed. 841 means that your refund had been reversed, and this is now the amount that they recovered. Okay, so not only did they assess additional taxes, they also gave her a penalty, right? So interest is assessed on unpaid balance. So they're saying that from the beginning, it should have been this. Okay, and now that we corrected it, we're gonna adapt. We're gonna add some interest. We're gonna penalize her because she didn't pay what she was supposed to pay from the beginning. Had she filed correctly, we wouldn't have to do this. The now a 900 TC 900 penalty assess accuracy and negligence. So not only do they assess you, they penalize you for um, not filing your tax return accurately. They penalize you, okay, for not getting it right. So, and they call it negligence. You should have got it right the first time. Okay, so Ashley, obviously, she accepted the fact that they audited her and they assessed her additional um, tax, and she asked for an installment agreement. So that TC 620 shows that an installment agreement was established. So these are my notes. So a transaction code 976 plus 977 together, they prove an amended return was received and posted. So you should look for both. When you see a transaction code 291 versus a 290, the 291 means tax decrease often leads to a refund. Transaction code 290 means tax increased, assessment with or without penalty code. A transaction code 420 or TC 300, 420 flags an exam. Transaction code 300 post the additional tax from the audit findings. So TC 841, this means that your refund was reversed. The IRS takes back whatever refund they issued to you when the exam disallowed them. So again, the taxpayer, she was single, right? So she filed new deductions and they were large on her amended return. And those, they commonly get flagged for examination even after the 1040X was processed. The examination may say, pump the brakes. We want to, documentation, more documentation to prove it. So you have to keep your documents ready. All right. So I'm doing this because I want you guys to get acquainted with ordering your account transcripts. It tells a story. And when you read them in chronological order, it really reads as a story. So this happened in an order. Okay, so I want you guys to get acquainted with these transaction codes so that way you can read your transcripts effectively. Okay?